Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the Python Django tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 3, where I'll be showing you guys on how to create your first Django project. Okay, so here in this particular chapter, we are going to learn on how you can actually create your first Django project. In our last class, we do have learned how you can install and set up Django. Here in this class, we are going to get started on creating your first Django project. So let's not waste much time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, that I'm here in the same project in which we created in our last class. Okay, so till here you guys have understood. And now the next thing is over here we need to make sure that we get started on creating our first Django file. Okay, so for that, now you can just come here and you can just use this terminal which you already have in Python. So this is a built-in one which you guys can basically use over here. And instead, what you guys can do is you guys can come here and basically you can just copy this whole thing. Okay, or let's come here, Control C to copy. And after that, you guys can directly come to this Windows PowerShell. Okay, so Control V. Okay, so PyCharm projects over here. And let's check this one. Let's check this terminal. Let's come here. My underscore Django. Let's close this down. And what I can do is once I'm done here, you guys can see that it is actually showing me an error. Okay. So if it's also throwing you guys an error like that, the same way, let's come here, Control C to copy. Let's try. Okay. So let's click on enter. This is also showing me an error. Let's go with only Django and new, Control C to copy. Control V to paste, and if I just click on enter, this is also actually showing me an error. Okay, so for that, what I need to do is let's come here, and as you guys can see here, I will just close this one. If you don't want to use this terminal, you can just use this Python terminal right over here. And if you just type ls, okay, you guys can see that they will be showing you this .idea file. Okay, so over here, once they're showing you this, okay, so let's come here, let's increase the size. Now the next thing what you guys can do is you guys can just type Django dot or slash admin. Okay, and once you click on this over here, you guys can see once you have given this particular command Django slash admin, you guys can see Django admin help subcommand for help on a specific subcommand. Okay, so over here you guys can see available subcommands. Over here, there you do have the command of start project, which I'll show you what is this. Okay, so over here now you need to understand once you see that they're showing you all of this, okay, all these subcommands over here, then automatically you should have the thing in mind that it is the Django admin is basically running, or the Django admin is basically working in your system right over here. Okay, and also the same thing, okay, as you guys can see, this particular same thing, if you do want to run somewhere else, okay, you guys can also do that. Let's say if you just delete this from the terminal, and if you just go to your Windows shell, just type cd dot, then you can just name your directory, okay, which is right over here. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and also it is showing you an error again. Okay. But why is that? Why is that? So over here now, it is a bit confusing, okay, because I'm not able to run it, or I'm not able to find its directory from here, from this Windows PowerShell. So what I can again do is I can just come back here again, and from here, let's type ls. Let's click on enter. Here you guys can see I do have the file .idea.venv, and once this is done, okay, you can just type Django slash admin, and once you click on enter, you guys can see that these are different kind of sub commands which are actually working. Okay, so you guys can see these things are basically working over here. And now once this is done, okay, so once this part is actually done, and to run or to actually get a new code or line of code, what I can do is I can just give out the same location, okay, as you guys can see right over here. So from here now again I will just try to run this particular function, okay, which says Django slash admin, and here this two word are basically a function, okay, which is Django slash admin. And the next thing over here, what I'm gonna do is to start a project is I'll just use this keyword which says start project. Okay, so let's type start project, and once you have written the start project, you need to mention the name of your Django file. Okay, so I will just name my Django file as my, or let's go with my file. Okay, and once you're done, just click on enter over here, and as you guys can see, it will basically create you a new file. Okay, over here it will create you a new file, and if you do want to check, just click on ls and click on enter. Now you guys can see that before, inside your Python file, you only had this .idea, you do have this .venv file, you did had this 545 main.py. But now if you guys can see, instead of these three, I also do have my file. Okay, so if you do want to check this one out, you guys can come here, go inside this my Django file, and inside this my Django file, you guys can see there is a new folder which says my file. Okay, and under my file, you guys can see there is a Python file known as manage.py, and just above this you guys can see I do have this underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py, asgi dot py, settings dot py, urls dot py, wsgi dot py, and also manage dot py file. Okay, so I am successfully able to create this particular file right over here. So now over here you guys can see inside this my file, okay, this my file folder, I do have this manage.py which I have actually opened up over here. So you can just take a look. I will show you how you can actually run server from here as well. And now let's come here inside this my file option. Okay, and let me just close this one, and let me just come here, and from here let's open up this init underscore underscore init dot py. Okay, so basically we need to understand that this is a Python package. Okay, so this is a Python package, that's why this is basically a blank file. Then we do have this asgi.py. Okay, so over here you guys can see I do have this particular file as well, and after that all these settings of your Python file or Django file will basically be saved here. So you guys are thinking, well, there are so many files that we have to work on with, this is getting pretty hectic. Okay, but I'm telling you that over here you don't have to twerk anything. Okay, like if you need to twerk anything, like if you have to make any changes anywhere over here, then I will tell you guys how to do so. Okay, instead of that, you guys don't have to do anything else. And also over here, you guys can see I do have the URL path over here. Okay, and also there is another file which is known as WSGI file, which means web server gateway. Okay, this is a web server gateway interface.py file. Okay, so now you don't have to know what this file does and stuff, but the thing which you should know is that these are the files that we will need, and don't work anything till the time we do create any kind of file at first. Okay, so now you guys should be focused on how to create your first project. Okay, so over here now I will just delete all of this. Let's come here, or let me just clear all of this from here. Okay, so once I do have cleared this, now let's come to this terminal. And the same way, you guys can just go into your PowerShell terminal as well from your computer. And this one is actually PyCharm's own terminal, where you can also give up your function. Okay, but to run, or actually to create your first project from here, I will work on with this manage.py file. Okay, so over here now, I'll just come here and I'll just type manage.py, uh, manage.py, then I'll just put run server. And you guys can see that here it is actually showing me an error. Okay, because maybe I did have some problem over here. Okay, manage.py. Because over here also I need to mention that the language I'm working with. Okay, so Python manage.py, and then you have to put around server. Okay, and once you click on enter, you guys can see that you don't have anything right over here. So let's just type Python manage.py run server. And over here, once you click enter, you guys can see it shows no such file or directory. Okay, because over here under my Django file, it is inside my file. Okay, so let's come here, users, and the same way, let's come here. So as you guys can see that here in this particular terminal, it is actually showing me some error. So what I can do is I can just go to my Windows PowerShell, and I can just take the path from which here you guys can see my path: users, made, PyCharm projects, new, my Django, my file. And over here, I can just give a simple command which says Python and just name the file manage.py, and you can just type run server. Okay, and once you've typed this one here, you guys can see it is actually performing system checks, and here it says that you have 18 unapplied migrations. And from here now what I can do is I will just copy this URL. Okay, so Control C to copy, and I'll just minimize this one. Let's minimize this, and let's go to my Google web page, Control V to paste it. And now if I just click on enter, you guys can see that this is the first Django project. If you see this in your screen, congratulations, because you have successfully created your first Django file. Okay, so here it says the install worked successfully, and they're telling you congratulations. View for Django 5.1. And there are a lot of things, as you guys might be thinking, well, you have created the first project, but what is the use? You don't have anything at all. So we are just getting started. If they're showing you this particular page in your server as well, mostly, then you guys are welcome because we are going to learn about this more right now. So yeah, I hope you have understood this part as well, and I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we're going to learn more about Python. So see you all till then. Take care and goodbye everyone.